Last time on Scum and Villainy, the crew found their way to Scrap Heap Point, where they settled in for a long stay as their ship was overhauled and modifications made. As they begin negotiating their potential working arrangements with Realm, things begin to heat up. All right. So, time-wise, it's been a good 4 to 5 days since our last session. And that time has been since, as you guys kind of know, what you wanted done to the ship, them making this modification to the ship, making repairs to the ship from the damages you took. The ship's hyperdrive has been upgraded. The back to tank and all that's been installed. A few other things have been done. Eachram's had his legs removed and rocket boots permanently attached to the bottom of his feet. I was seriously overthinking that. When I looked up how to do that, I was like, oh, hey, dummy, just give him rocket boots. Simple solution. Anyway, so things have moved fairly well. The ship is upgraded. It's back to normal. It's, well, better than normal now, because now it has more toys on board. You guys have settled into helping out with the repairs, scavenge around in the scrap to see what you can find, getting work done yourself, having weapons modified, and basically talking with and dealing with Realm, and getting things set up for Harsal and his people. Harsal left about 2 days ago. Another small ship from Realm's group came in, took Harsal and the droid off. They were going to return to the asteroid facility that you left the crew on and begin to get things arranged and set up there. The last you heard on that arrangement, Realm had agreed with Harsal to refurbish the asteroid base that you guys had found and set them up there. And they would use that as Harsal's people would work off that asteroid base, and then Realm's people would be the front transferring their new technology out into the galaxy. Kind of a dead drop situation for him. Harsal had bid you guys farewell and thanks you for your help. You also had made arrangements with Realm as part of your all's deal that, you got a cut of the profits. So Harsal or Realm has now made you profit sharing partners of the business, meaning you get some of the profits off of it. Your first few payments obviously are going toward the modifications you just had made to the ship. And he does promise that he will contact you soon for work. And as you guys are dealing around, and he really, most of the time that you dealt with him was in the Corvette that you were shown that's kind of hidden in the scrap there. After a week of being around it, give me perception checks at 2 difficulty. I'll grab each room there since I know he's not here at the moment. Just want to see how much you all pick up on. I guess I said perception. It is perception, isn't it? Yeah, there it is.
Perception.
Yeah, there's a perception.
So 2 difficulty is the default.
2 purple.
Right?
2 purple. Yep, 2 purple. Standard difficulty. Each of them didn't notice. Roxy might have noticed. What about Shock?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to...
You're fine. You're fine. No hurry, Wayne.
The pressure. The pressure.
I noticed.
Huh, weirdly, okay, so I click on it and it's not giving me a roll option here.
If you click on the dice, the little, and you pull the sheet up, click on them, and then it'll bring up just a single click.
Yeah, it popped up, the chart where you can change difficulty, boost, setback, all that. But
yep.
Then from that.
Oh. Once you set that, I actually want to set it all. You can just hit roll because there's no anything else to it. once you get it up there.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't seeing the roll button.
It's at the very bottom. It's the very bottom.
Okay. Maybe it was just being wonky. Oh,
Could
now
be.
it did. Yeah, I think it was just the window got cut off.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So, Roxy, having spent, probably more time than the others in the seedier places of the galaxy, you notice quite a bit of material is going into the Corvette instead of coming out of the Corvette. And you also start, after you notice that, you start kind of counting heads, right? And you know where the apartments and all that stuff is, where everybody's bunk rooms, because you guys are set up in a bunk room, so that's yourself. You know where the crew's at, and you start to realize that throughout the workday, and there's a very dedicated kind of workday to this operation, but throughout the workday, a large portion of these people just seem to vanish. More than goes out into the scrapyard looking for scrap, and more than is working on, say, your ship or any other project they might be currently working on for Riam that you can tell, but a large portion of them just seems to vanish throughout the day. As the day wanes down to a close and you begin to watch the sunset through the noxious vapors that is this place of Raxus Prime, Riam has joined you as at your all's little docking cleft where the Rancor's docked at. He's kind of looking over the ship, and he looks at the lot of it and goes, "Well, all your modifications are done. You'll be ready to lift off by this evening. All I have to do now is to put the final fuel in the hyperdrive. It's already started, and at that point you can see actually a fueling vehicle over there putting fuel in the ship. Because when you leave here, you'll be fully supplied and ready to run. I do appreciate all your help." And as he's saying that, his comm link beeps. And he reaches down and he picks it up. And you hear Norta, which is his right hand here, voice. "Riam, more trouble. We detected a TIE fighter patrol searching the area. It'll be minutes left before it pegs our location. Not sure what tipped them off. Probably fighting." You see Riam's shoulders sag just a little bit. And he responds to Norta, "Yeah, all right. Maybe our friends here can help." Norta's voice comes back on comms. "Great. We're going to need all the help we can get. Scrap heap point's done for. The escape plan is almost ready. If any of those folks are engineers, technicians, we could use their help pushing some debris at the very least. Send it over to damage control. I'll send the damage information to your pad." His pad beeps. Riam starts flipping through the pad. Now, I'll kind of do something cinematic that I haven't done for a little bit. Quick cut fade. The bottom of the screen, it reads, "Several days earlier." You see a YT-2400 streaking away from a jungle planet. At its controls, a harried Celestin. Hot on his heels, an Imperial starship. A small one, nothing major, but enough to cause him to sweat since he's the only crew on the ship. He begins pushing buttons, and he calms them and begins talking. Back to Scrap Heap Point and you guys. Riam starts flipping through and goes, "Well, I guess our secret's out. Your ship's ready. If you want to get gone, you can get gone, but we could use your help. Can you help us out?"
So we just got our ship more or less repaired and upgraded, but now they want us to go back into combat against TIE fighters? Is that what I'm hearing?
Pretty much, or something.
We
Or help them.
the money.
That you do. Because You don't necessarily have to put that pretty piece of machinery back into the fray if you want. I mean, you need help, but you can either buy us some time, or you can help speed things up around here. He flips the pad around to where you can see it, Roxy, and Shock and the rest of you. On it's the diagram of that Curlian Corvette. The Corvette that is not as lame duck as I've let on. She's nearly ready for space. Just needs a few other pieces of work done. Mainly, some charges set to clear the rubble. Get her free. We'll need someone to clear the distribution bay. Set those escape charges, obviously. There's a power couple that needs repaired. And some work done on engine 1. You can either help out with that, or you can take off in that bucket of yours. No offense, he realizes he just called your ship a bucket, Eatram. Yes, no offense, but and you can keep the tires busy, or you can make a run for it. Yeah, you owe us money, but I didn't say he was going to have to risk your necks this soon. Your call.
Catch me up to speed. It sounds like we're under attack by TIE fighters.
Yeah, pretty much. Norta just calmed Rium, as Rium was explaining to you. The ship was basically done and being refueled. Your ship, that is. And informed him that the Imperials figured out where they're at. And there's a patrol. It'll take them a few minutes, but the search pattern they're on will definitely reveal Scrap Heap Point to them. We had a brief cutaway where we saw a Sullustan flying in a YT-2400 away from a jungle planet, talking to the Imperials as he flew.
Wait, who was that? I'm trying to remember who that character was. It's somebody we met on the...
That would be the pilot of the Yar clan that you all gave the ship to.
Oh,
yeah, the one we
guy.
field promoted.
Oh, nice.
He cut and ran.
Yep, and sold you out, apparently. Oh, which reminds me.
What do you expect, right?
Need to
No
flip that.
honor among thieves.
Need to flip that dark side point for that.
So someone needs to obligation table.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah,
it?
we didn't do that, did we?
Oh, no, we did not. Thank you. Let's see. Obligation roll. Okay. Well. Hey, look at that. No obligation this time, guys.
Cool.
Thanks for reminding me, Marcus.
Yeah, thanks, Marcus.
Yeah.
Why is it always shock with the obligation? Is it just the roll, or is that there's something special?
I
about
was
it?
clicked on your token.
Oh, okay, but it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't really matter. I just that happened to be on your token. That's probably why I didn't. For some reason my macro is not firing.
So
That's
yeah,
okay.
I'm not able
Also
to open
take
any of the
away
rule
my-
books either.
I'm also taking away my strain.
Yeah. Any strain that you got, please make sure you reset that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Sorry. Should have asked this before we start. The helmet. I was just wondering, you didn't set up any. I don't see anything in my sheet for it.
Oh, then I'll add it.
Ah, okay. Cheers.
I'll have to find it. One sec.
I mean, I doubt it's going to be used coming into it at the moment, but
Yeah. I mean, you have it, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it in. You'll see a Stormtrooper helmet comm link at the bottom for now. That's all that's in there for now. I'll have to get to the other stuff later, but that's my reminder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
No problem. So Riom is basically saying you guys, if you want to help. I mean, he's pretty much saying if you guys want to skedaddle, he understands. But he's also saying if you want to help, you can either help him get the ship out, because he just revealed to you that basically that Corvette's ready to fly. Or you can distract the TIE fighters above the base while his crew works on that ship.
So the Corvette, once it's ready to go, are we saying it's basically more than a match for the TIE fighters? Is that the idea?
Well, I think his plan's to run.
Or just to run? So we can either leave him and run ourselves, or we can help him.
Right.
In a couple of different ways.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather have the TIE fighters have something else to shoot at.
Than you
something
all?
bigger.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just help them down here so that, yeah.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay. So Rion
I'm a decent
Yeah, that works for Eatrim. Can he be on standby on the ship though, rather than helping out? He's not very good mechanically, but in case we need more time.
Yeah, you can be a standby ship. That's no problem. That's exactly what you can do. Come on, guys. This is role-playing games. You can go 50,000 directions and keep your game master spinning like crazy. You know how that works.
It just makes sense that I'd be ready to boot.
Yep. So Eatrim heads up the ramp of the ship, getting the ship ready to roll, making sure the fueling lines are done, everything's disconnected. When you hit the top of the ramp, of course, you talk with the fueling crew. They tell you it's going to be at least 15 minutes to get the rest of the fuel in the ship. And that without the fuel, you're on sublight because they had to drain the fuel tanks completely to install the new drives.
Fantastic.
Meanwhile, to kind of liven things up, as Yeatrim's headed off toward the ship and you two turn to Rion to see what you can do to help, you hear the unmistakable sound of a pair of twin ion engines go screaming by. 2 TIE fighters go screaming by outside and swoop, and you can see that they spot the base and angle and turn and begin circling the base.
Does the base have any larger guns for defense, or is it just relying on being hidden?
It was relying on being hidden. Rion looks at two of you and goes, "Okay, all right. I either need here's what we need done. We need someone to clear the distribution bay on the Corvette. We got some charges that need to be set to get us out of there. There's a power coupling needs repaired, and we need some connections made on engine 1. Who's up for what?"
I'm happy to do any mechanic stuff.
All right. He flicks on his pad, flicks not the pad, but flicks toward you so that your device picks it up. Because go there. Work on that power coupling and your pad. You reach in your pouch and you pull out your pad. A display algorithm of the ship's engine pops up on there, and you can see the outlines, and you easily spot where issues are at, and you have a map headed to direct you to that direction. He turns to you, Roxy. "What am I sending you at, lass?" And suddenly he's developed a Scottish accent.
Working on.
Suddenly he's developed a Scottish accent. "All right, you can set some charges, or you can go work on the engine. I don't see you being much good at clearing that distribution bay."
Engine.
All right. He, same deal, flips a pad up to you, and you both head off in the direction. Yeatrim, you're up the ramp, starting to get converters running, ship moving, and all that. I'm assuming you also turn on the sensors?
Yeah.
So you can get a better view of what's going on out and about?
Yes, I'd like to know what's going on around me.
Okay. Give me a sensor check. Just 2. I mean, you're just turning things on and getting fired up so you can see what you can see. Meanwhile, I'll go with Shock first. Shock, you went to the power coupling, right?
Yes, or whichever mechanic item would fit.
Yeah. Power coupling. That fits. Yeah. Okay. As you tear your way into the bay, you come in the main door that you've come in a couple of times now on the thing, and you realize you're being directed to the bank of elevators that were told didn't work. As you go in there, the pad bleeps and the lights open, and the lift opens. You enter the lift and you're dropped down a deck, and you go out and find yourself in the engine room of this crawling Corvette. You see a lot of flickering lights, control panels. You see people scurrying around. You see one guy look up, rather hurried. "Great, you're here. We got a power coupling that's failing. We can't seem to track it down. Shot, give me an easy computer check or an average mechanics check. So either an easy 1 purple computer check or a 2 purple mechanics check to see if you can find this part.
Yeah, let me see here. I think I'll go with mechanics.
That's what I figured you'd go with, to be honest.
Average difficulty.
Yep, 2 purple. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You give a whale and your translator droid always starts translating. You point to the art over. You really look at the console. You just look at the engine and go, there. You and him, he tosses you the part. You scamper up to where you can get to it, and you begin jamming the part, putting the part in there. It's going to take you at least 5 minutes, unfortunately, to clamber and get to this awkward spot. Okay? And then once you get there, you're going to have to do the work. So to do the actual work, I need an average coordination check. 2 purple coordination check. I'll come back to you here in a second, Roxy. Oh! You slip down, you're having trouble getting there, so I'm going to flip back to Roxy. Okay. As Roxy goes into the engine bay, right behind you, actually.
I'm going to yell out, Roxy, get your skinny little butt up in there and fix this thing. I'm too broad.
Roxy, you hear Shock yelling or roaring something at you. The translator, it's all lost in the noises of the bay and all that. You're headed to engine 1. You come in immediately. Okay, there it is. I just found it. So I'm having trouble finding the thing. So this ship has 11, or 11? Yeah, 11 sublight drives in it. You've been directed to engine 1, and you can see from the panel that they gave you, look at the quick diagnostic as you're running, that only 3 of the 11 sublight drives are actually online. And you know enough about ships to know that's not enough to get off the ground. They need at least 1 more. Just to get enough full repulsor lift power to even think about lifting off. As you head into the engine bay, you see that there's a crew's already scampering over other engines, trying to get other engines up and firing. You look down at your pad. Give me a hard mechanics check, 3 purple, or a computer check of 2 purple to read the diagnostic panel to figure out what's failed on this engine that you've been assigned to try to get fired.
I think you know which one I'm going to choose.
Yeah, I pretty much figured that one.
2 purple.
Yep, okay. 2 purple.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
So you begin flipping around the panels. You jack your pad into the system panel so that you're accessing everything, not just what was forwarded to you from Rio. It takes you a couple seconds. All of a sudden, you have control. You begin firing things up, and you realize that at least 2 of the other engines are fully repaired. They just don't have the right initiation sequences to fire. And with a depth switch, and I'm going to pull from your advantage there, the advantage you picked up there and the 4 successes, you flip around, you look at the one engine that's ready to fire. Look at how it sequenced that, and you begin coding, furiously coding. And you begin coding an override sequence to make these 2 other engines fire. Totally ignoring engine 1, you go, okay, not a problem. We'll just get these other 2 engines up and running for them. The only problem is it's going to take you about 15 minutes to do the coding. Okay, and back to... Go ahead.
What if I copied initiation sequences from the other engines that do work?
That's what you're doing. But unfortunately, there's pieces missing in it, and you're having to set between 2 or 3 different ones that's working and getting the coding right because of where they made so many modifications to the engines to get them to work. You're you're cobbling code together to make it work. Yitram, I see your computer check roll. You fire up the sensors in there. Now you're partially blinded because of the alcove that the Rancor is set in, but you quickly set the sensors to a sweep, and you pick up the 2 TIE fighters. are now that you know are circling. You know they're there. But your systems, long tuned by Roxy, begin scanning Imperial frequencies. And as it begins to scan Imperial frequencies, you realize there's a lot more chatter on those lines than two Imperials. It sounds like there's at least 2 more TIE fighters out there and maybe some drop ships inbound.
Yeah, that feels like something I should share. So I'll get on the comms with the rest of my group.
Okay.
Guys, it looks like the count's off. We have double, maybe triple TIE fighters coming in, and it seems like they're going to bring in shock troops. So whatever you're doing, hurry it up.
Okay, back to Shock. Shock, you've fallen down between the things. Give me another coordination check to get up there, bud. 2 purples. I don't give you a bonus this time. Never mind. I've already rolled it. Let's see.
All right.
That's okay. You succeeded, so it don't matter.
I'll take that.
You take that. As I said, I'll give you a bonus because you know where the handholds are at this time. So you clamber up into the bay and you begin looking at the actual, what's going on there, and you look and go, oh crap. Yeah, the power coupling's failed, but not only has it failed, it's arced over and actually welded itself to it. So you pull out a welder and you start welding on it. Give me a hard mechanics check.
So is that 3 difficulty?
3, yes.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. You pull it out of your bag of tools. You pull out a cutter and you start furiously cutting away. It's going to take you at least 10 minutes to get everything cut away and get the new part installed to get this engine up and running. Roxy's fiercely firing away. And as you guys are working, and you're probably the one that sees it the most, and from your point of view, Yitram, the TIE fighters start firing at Scrap Heap Point, start strafing the ground. Suddenly, out of nowhere, to this point, you thought this base was undefended. 2 cannons just pop up from out of the scrap and start firing back at the TIE fighters.
Nice. That's what I was hoping for.
They're not doing great, but it causes the TIE fighters to veer away and reassess how they're going to attack this base.
Delay.
Okay. It's been about 10, 15 minutes. We'll say 15 minutes for argument's sake here. Yitram, you get a green light on the board as the fueling coupler decouples from the Monarch and it gets pulled away from the ship, and you see that crew's scurrying away to do other things, whatever you don't know. From your point of view, Roxy, you get not 1 but 2 engines purring like kittens. They're ready to. They're fired up, ready to get them on low hum. They're ready to go. Just in time as you get ready to fire yours over, the one that you're looking at, one of the other ones that they were working on, the one that Shock was working on, comes online as Shock crams the last piece into place and does the last welds to get it into place. You get a comm message from Norda, Riam's right hand. Great. Need some help in the and there's a bit blast of static. It points out and it comes back and there's a ping on your pads. There's a hull breach in one section of the ship that needs to be sealed. And there's a repulsor lift that needs worked on. And a navigation array that needs worked on. Who's headed where?
Can you say the first 2 again? I missed.
There's a repulsor lift, as soon as I get back to my screen, because it may refresh the array. There's a repulsor lift, a hull breach, and a navigation array.
What's the most critical for the ship taking off?
Repulsor lift.
All right, that's where Shock will hit.
Okay, Shock's headed to the repulsor lift.
I'll pick navigation, because technically we can go with a hole in the ship.
Right. Makes sense. So you guys pelt off.
Depressurize a compartment. It's fine.
Yeah. So you pelt off up the ramps. From your point of view, Yitram, things are getting hot. Yep. You're now picking up not 1 but 2 lander shuttles inbound. They'll be here within 10 minutes.
So just ship orientation, would I be in a way where I could use my guns on them as they're coming in, or would I have to turn the ship around?
Well, normally I would say you would have to turn the ship around, but your guns are on swivel mounts on the side of your ship.
That's a good point. Also, I can't see the light side, dark side points anymore. Because I was definitely going to use one of them to turn me around if I wasn't facing the
Okay, there's one light side. Okay. I just actually flipped one by accident when I moved it. Let me flip it back. There we go.
By the way, I remember last time you did land with the ship facing ready to escape.
Yep, you did. You pivoted the ship so that it was ready to rocket out. But your guns are on the sides, so it really doesn't matter what way. And plus, they're on turrets, so you've got a pretty decent field of fire outside there. You want to take a pot shot at one of those TIE fighters? What you thinking, Eatrim? Or one of the shuttles?
I was thinking the shuttles when they start to come in.
Okay.
Because it looks like they can, at the very least, keep the TIE fighters from coming in too hot, but ground troops will be more of an issue.
Okay, makes sense. Makes good sense. Just make sure I understand what you're after. Yep. So you take remote control of the turrets, which is something that you always could do. They just work better if you're actually in the turrets instead of controlling them from the cockpit. Unless you want to run back to the turret, which you got time to do if you want to do.
No chance. I'm gonna stay here just in case I have to take off.
Okay. So you flip up and get the system up. It's not as great. You're going to have a setback using this system to fire with, but it will work. Meanwhile, back on the ship, crews are everywhere. As you're rocketing your way toward these other two repair areas, you see a group go by with someone on a stretcher, and he's burnt from one side down all the way down his legs, and they're headed toward the med bay. Someone's seriously injured. Okay, so the repulsor lift. Let me find that one. There it is. So, Shock, as you come into the repulsor bay, seeing what's going on, you quickly analyze it, and you realize that you can hear it. Just the whine, you can tell it. You can hear it going up and going down, going up. Its power is rising and falling. It's not staying where it needs to be to work properly. Give me a hard computer check or an average mechanics check to determine what the issue might be. I'm pretty sure I know where you're going to go with this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yep. Not sure what it is. You're still digging into the systems.
Okay.
I'll flip over to Roxy in the navigation array. You arrive in the navigation suite. Area actually not in the suite, but in the front of the ship where the navigation array is physically at Roxy. And you see a tech busily trying to recalibrate the system for the modification of the drives that you just brought online. It's an average computer check to recalibrate that system.
Yep. So 2 purple.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, look at that! So you begin. So obviously you're going to see. Tell me how Roxy takes over for this lost tech.
Hold this, please. Flip that. Give me. Switch that. Just sort of like bossing the other person around like an assistant.
Right. So Roxy comes in and goes, "Move, hold this," and starts giving orders and telling people what to do. It's going to take about 10 minutes to get it fixed, to get not fixed, but to get the calibration right. Meanwhile, we'll go back to Shock. Shock, you're scratching your head at this repulsor lift. It doesn't make sense. Give me another mechanics check, but this time 3 purple.
Ready? There we go.
There you go. You smack your head in frustration as you realize how simple it is. There is a relay that is cross-wired in it. Someone's cross-wired it when trying to do the work in a hurry.
Bunch of amateurs in this place.
Yep. It's going to take you about 5 minutes to get it to rewire it properly. In the meantime, You hear the unmistakable bark of the Rabid Minok's gun, or Rabid Rancor's guns, as Yitram begins firing on an incoming shuttle. Yitram, give me a Starship weaponry check. It's going to be 3 purple.
All right.
And 1 setback because of you're using the remote controls, not the actual controls.
Gotcha. Let me find gunnery here. Difficulty 1, setback. There we go.
Oh, nice. Nice. I got to pull the Minok up real quick. I got it on the screen here somewhere. Oh, no, I didn't actually drag the Minok out. Well, you know. That's easy to fix. Player vehicles. I keep calling it the Minok. It's the Rancor because you guys renamed it. Okay. And my stand-in assault shuttle. Okay, your guns do 5 damage. And you succeeded with a 3, but no, just 3 successes. Okay. So, nice, because not even any strain on you. Look at that. You're rocking it in there. So, I'll put the damage on there. You slam, not 55. You slam into that troop transport. As it begins to get closer, you realize it's more than just a troop transport. It's an actual starship. But it takes a hit from your guns. And shock, you get everything wired up and the repulsors begin to hum like they're supposed to. Roxy, you're still fiercely bossing people around out there. Yitram, give me another. If you want to fire again, give me another shot at that one. They're after this, they'll be able to land and disembark our troops.
All right, I will definitely do that then. Let's see if we can take these guys out of the air before they touch down and give me problems. So same thing, 3 difficulty, 1 setback.
Yep.
Firing.
Oh, shot goes wide. They realize where the shots are coming from. The ship settles down in one of the bays to one of the other bays, and you immediately through the cockpit begin hearing the unmistakable whine of stormtrooper fire. Roxy, on your side.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm moving things on the screen. You get the astrogation system up and running, and you hear a bunch of chirps and other things coming in, and then you hear explosions around the ship as the charges that they've been setting while you guys have been working begin to drop the junk away from the ship. On your all's comms, you get a message from Norda. We're leaving in 5. You can stay on the vet, or you can take your ship. Your choice. Watch out, stormtroopers.
Oh, hell no. I'm going back to my ship.
Okay, so Shock's out the door. It's going to take you at least 5 minutes to get from where you're at to the Minok. Again, there I go again. To the Rancor. I'm going to plaster it on my screen in big letters. Your ship's name is the Rabid Rancor. Proxy?
I'm heading back to the Rancor.
Okay.
Also, did I get any time to work on my astromech or no?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah. I just wondered.
Yep, you got, yeah.
If it was in a position
to help.
To help Yitram.
Yep, it is.
It is takeoff
procedure. Yep, it is. It's puzzling.
I would have gone its. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
I would have gotten its astrogation systems ready.
Okay.
Rather than anything else.
Okay.
Physical.
All right. So. Okay. Yitram, the cockpit door opens, and in rattles the droid. I can't remember what his name is. I have to go look on the screen.
I nicknamed it Freezy.
Okay, Freezy. Okay. In rattles Freezy, and Freezy comes over to the net, and out of photoceptor's corners, you see him jack in and begin programming the Nava computer.
I'm going to swivel my head around. I'm going to give you one chance, droid, or you're being jettisoned. And I'm going to let it keep going.
Okay. Okay, so let me get Freezy up, because I need to make a check for Freezy. Companions. There it is. 5 Z's. Okay, he needs to make an astrogation check. Let me find his astrogation here. Navigation. That's negotiation, not navigation. Come on now. I know, yeah, there it is. I know he has it. Okay. Are you going to help him make this check, Eitrim?
No. I'm looking at the player actions for vehicles for the NPC astromech stuff at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you want me to treat him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, then I'm going to let him go. I'm just going to focus on
the
not
getting shot
down,
out. Yeah. Okay. So he begins tooting along. I'm going to make his roll real quick. He programs the Astro computer.
Computer programmed. Awesome.
Not sure where it's programmed to go to, but it's programmed. Now, he was given coordinates from that you all had gotten from Riom for your rendezvous point, but now we'll see where you end up at. Okay, so as Shock and Roxy come barreling out of the bowels of the ship, you come to the hatch at the same time, and you come out into the thing, and you're headed toward the Minok. And as you're headed toward the Minok, you see a squad of stormtroopers, and they don't even begin to worry about such things as niceties. They just begin firing. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all of us into combat. Okay. So go ahead and jump over to the fist there and roll your initiative. I'm getting the troopers rolled. If you just go to the combat trackers that die there, they can make it easy for you. Only one left is Roxy. There goes Roxy. Okay, let me switch the combat over. Why did everybody go hostile?
We just start shooting each other.
Yeah, but even you guys went hostile. Let me. Okay, I'm going to. That's weird. That means even you guys are hostiles. Hold on a second. I'm going to redo this. Let me get you guys in there first. Let me see why you guys are listed as hostiles. Give me 1 second to go to sheet options. Global stim pack. Token. You're listed as a friendly. I'm going to roll these again, guys, and see what it does. Give me a sec. Because it should not have. Well, Shock, you got a better roll this time than when you rolled, dude.
What's that?
Okay, weird. Okay. So we're going to do this. We're just not going to use that script. Apparently it got damaged. Let me re-roll everybody real quick. Roll initiative.
Roll vigilance
I got it.
Or cool or whatever we're using.
Yeah, I got it, guys. I rolled it for you. I just won't convert them. I'll just leave them like they are. I don't have to have say hostile or whatever. We know that who's hostile, who's not. So we can begin combat. Pop that out so I can see it. There we go. All right. First combat action is one of you guys. It's a friendly turn. It's actually shocks if you want to take it in actually the actual order, but you do not have to. So as you come around the corner and you see all these stormtroopers, and by a squad, I mean 8.
So each one of those icons is 8?
Yeah, there's only 2 of them that are actually affecting you guys right now. I'm not going to bring the chart up that these 2 are not. They're there, but they're not. You're only dealing with these 2 here.
All
Just
right.
a question, Jason. Have they come down the ramp yet?
Yeah, but they're in the bay opposite of you. You can't see them.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if they're on the ramp, I was gonna try and.
Yeah, that's what I figured you're trying to do. And there's 4 in each one of these, 8 total.
So Eitram is in the ship, but he can't use the ship's guns on.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. And then Roxy and I are entering the ship still from transferring.
You're in the hallway adjacent to the ship. You cannot see the ship yet. Unfortunately, the troopers are at the other end of the hallway, adjacent to the ship. They can see you, but they cannot see the Rancor.
Okay.
So the door is in between.
Yeah.
Where we are, it's like halfway in between.
Yeah, here, I'll do it this way.
Our 2 groups.
There's a hallway like that. The hallway takes a bend. Up here's the ship. Over here's the other bend going to the other bay that they came in. The troopers are right here. You guys are right here. Love my lovely diagrams.
Wonderful.
So in theory, we could hightail it around the bend back toward the ship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you could, if you do a double run, you could make it to the ramp of the Rancor at the end of this turn. But likewise, if they dash, they could get to the corner and be able to see you at the ramp of the Rancor.
But none of us would be able to fire on each other.
Right. Yeah, if you did
this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like that idea because then we're like at least at the ramp of the ship in case we want to take off quickly or something. We're like on board. But that I'll defer to what the other guys want to do if they think there's a better way to handle it.
Nah, run, man. Run. You want to run around?
Run away! Run away!
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to. I'll dash then to the ship, and once I get to the ramp, I'm going to turn around and face back down the hallway,
right,
or towards the hallway in case we need to lay down some fire. Yep.
So you bolt down the hallway toward the Rancor. Roxy, unfortunately, they get 2 turns before you get to do anything, or one of you guys get to do anything.
Well, okay, yeah. Sorry. So does it make more sense for Roxy to go first and then Shock to follow?
That's up to you guys.
I've got a shite ton of armor, in all honesty.
Yeah.
You do, okay. So your soak is what?
6.
Yeah, same with me. And I can take up to 18 wounds.
Holy moly, I've got 2 over here.
Remember, he picked up that Imperial armor.
Yeah, one of us is going to end up like Boromir no matter what.
Either way, I don't care, Roxy. What do you want me? Do you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
Yeah, it makes more sense for you to go first. You got the better initiative. I'm happy to RP this.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'll be slower.
Yep. The troopers come around the corner. They are 2 range bands from you, so that's going to be a 3 difficulty for them. And they begin firing at you, Roxy, because you're the only target down there. You've got to be kidding me. Gotta love stormtroopers. Gotta absolutely love stormtroopers. And of course, then there's the other group. Same deal. They begin firing. This is why the Imperials always lose, isn't it? True to Star Wars.
Too accurate for stormtroopers, for sand people.
True to Star Wars lore. They shoot everywhere in the hallway, Roxy, but you. They do come advancing down the hallway because they got movement, but they don't dash. They just come down the hallway, getting closer to you. They move 1 range band closer to where you're at, and that brings it to a friendly turn.
Yep. I just run. Yep. I
Roxy
run to the ramp and Yeah, just to check myself to see.
Somehow I see right behind Shock running, fully expecting to get shot at some point. Fully expecting 8 troopers shoot at you. Law of odds, someone has to hit you. And you get to the ramp and you're checking yourself over. You look down through there and you can see the corner where you rounded the corner, and it's pocked full of holes. And there's vaguely a humanoid shape in the middle of all those holes where you were standing, Roxy.
It's like when Han Solo came around into that army of stormtroopers and Death Star.
Exactly. So you go run to the ramp. Okay.
I do ask Shock for one thing or suggest anything. You want to use some photon grenades that we picked up from the previous stormtroopers?
I do.
All right. So as you guys were discussing that, Yeatram, you're in the cockpit. Because of the way the ship's situated, and because where your ramp is at, because the ramp's in the front of the ship, you see them arriving at the ramp. You see the stormtroopers, through the back scanners. The stormtroopers are there because you're faced away from the launch point. Kind of forgot about that. The Charles ramp's at the front of the ship, but that's okay. So you see the crew, your party coming up. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, I have swiveling guns, as I've just been informed, and
oh god,
I may not be able to hit a dropship, but I think I can hit a doorway.
Okay.
So let's see if I can just make those grenades pointless.
Okay. So as you two are discussing this, Shot, because you've been in the turrets before, you hear the unmistakable whine of the ship turret on the side closest to the doorway as it spins around and adjusts its aim. You both glance up in time to see Yeatram looking down at the console, and he raises one hand and sticks a thumb up. Give me a Starship weaponry check. You're firing at the doorway, right? Not the troopers?
Yeah, with the assumption that it's just going to hit them.
Right. Okay, give me, because that's going to be, okay.
Well, my assumption it'll either hit them or collapse the doorway.
Right. It's going to be 3 purple to actually do it. And I'm going on size here.
Okay.
Gunnery, is that the skill?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm adding the boost from the astromech.
The astromech's not helping with gunnery. He's busily programming the hyperdrive.
That's right. He's being stupid.
Yes, he is.
Gotcha. Well, let's just see what happens.
You can always burn light side point.
I don't need it.
Oh, God. So, you guys have never, you all been in the ship and heard them fire, but you've never been outside when they fire. And you hear the bark, bark, bark of the ship's guns as they fire. It goes down the tunnel, and you see the stormtroopers coming down the tunnel, and as soon as the first shot hits the wall, they begin diving for cover. But then because remember, this place is not made of stone, it's made of junk. The hallway that they're in collapses from the fire. I'm assuming at that point, because it's now the end of that turn, and back to a friendly turn, what's going on with the crew?
So I've seen what looks like now them cut off from us, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I guess the issue is whether we should try to just take off at this point or what. I mean, what does the rest of the group think?
You hear a rumbling sound as another series of charges go off, and the unmistakable roar of thrusters coming from a very large ship nearby.
So the Corvette is getting ready to get out of here.
It's trying to pull itself out of the junk.
And am I correct? I guess it's hard for me to tell, but it's going to take a couple of turns for the stormtroopers to get through the blocked
Yeah.
hallway?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
Because
we should
Eacham
just-
kind of collapsed it.
Yeah, we should just get on the ship and get out of here, yeah? Eacham and Roxy, what do you think? In which case I can let
Yeah.
Eacham take the first turn and we're on the ramp, so I can
Yeah, you just
imagine
gotta
him
go.
just closing it, and then we just kind
Yep.
of are on the ship, right?
Okay, so you reach over and
Yeah.
hit the button to lift the ramp, and it just starts closing to close you guys in the ship. I'm actually going to end that combat there.
Okay.
As you enter the ship, I'm going to switch this to.
I'll gonna go for a turret.
Yep. I'll switch this
Yeah.
to the Mac. Get Harsal off of there. Let's see. Shock, you're already technically in a turret. I mean, you're not, but your token's in a turret.
Yeah. Well, I would head for one regardless. Yeah.
Okay.
Since
And
we're
then
heading
I'm going to ask, as you guys are bolting, yeah, he would actually, I'll move him. He would actually be over here.
Okay, thank you. I was trying to navigate him through all the hallways.
So I can move him. He'd actually be back there. I can cheat. I have DM sight. So as you see the green light go, the light go green from the ramp being closed, what are you doing, Eacham?
Eatram's going to use. Well, now that we have both maneuvers to get us up to speed 2,
Mhm.
and start getting out of this likely soon to be collapsing junk heap.
Okay, so in other words, you're blasting out of there as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so you two, as you're headed toward the turrets, you feel the gravity drive strain on the ship as Yeatram vaults out of the hangar. You can't see out of the ship, but you can. The compensators don't quite keep up with it all. I mean, not enough to make you guys stumble or fall, but you can feel that queasy feeling. You know you're moving quick, you're moving fast. Outside, from the outside point of view, the one bay over is the dropship. There's 4 TIE fighters orbiting, and 2 things happen at one time. First thing that happens, the Rabid Rancor shoots up into the atmosphere like a pop gun, like a cork out of a pop gun. It was flying up in the atmosphere. Off to the right of your all's hangar, Eacham, as you see on your scanners as you're looking back to see what's assessing the situation, you see the whole garbage heap around where the Corvette, and because you know where it's at. You see it shift, and you see the Corvette come up, and it's almost alongside you as you're moving up into space. You get a comm message, Eacham. See you at the rendezvous. However, the bad news is, Rancor. Why is it so tiny? It's tiny. And that triggers NPCs. Beyond the rim. That's not what we have. Four TIE fighters in pursuit of the pair of ships quickly departing Scrap Heap Point. I'm going to pull that combat chart up just so we have it. Images, GM resources. There it is. Yeah, at least it's scaled to match everything else in here. Oh crap. No. Can't have that. Apparently I put one of the TIE fighters in the music. I suddenly got music on my end.
Yeah, I did too for a second. I thought I was having the stroke.
Yeah.
Okay, and I need to get the crew on those TIE fighters, so I have them for their piloting skills, which isn't much, but hey, they are Imperial TIE pilots. There we go. Get their sheet up. So, Eacham, you have at least 2 TIE fighters, possibly 4. Can't tell if they're all chasing you. They're chasing the pair of your ships as you vault into space. There's the bandit. There it is. Okay. Oh, and we'll just do it good, bad, instead of rolling initiative here. So, what are you doing, Yitrim? You do have hyperdrive coordinates plotted, but you're going to have to take at least 2 turns to get out far enough out of the atmosphere to make that jump.
Yeah, okay. So for maneuver,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take my full throttle action.
Okay.
So it's going to be a hard piloting check.
Okay.
And if I succeed, our top speed is going to increase. And then we'll automatically go to the max.
Okay.
So I think our max speed would be 5 if I succeed it.
Let's see. Your top speed is 3 on this vessel.
Oh, top speed. Okay, then yeah.
But you're only at 2 right now, so.
Okay, so that would take us to a top speed of 4.
Right. Yeah, because you're pushing it beyond. You're going beyond the throttle stops.
Yep. I'm just going to try and rush away from them so they can't hit us as easy.
Okay.
When they make their attacks.
Okay, let's see the check. See what happens.
Yep, so that's just going to be, it's an average piloting check.
Yep. Yep, you're literally throwing the throttles all the way forward and then some.
Yep.
Oh, look at
Go.
that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do because you're, because they were behind you in pursuit. I'm going to use this kind of as a speed chart to show the difference in the speeds. Which reminds me, what's the bandit's top speed? That's what I thought. Okay. So the Monarch goes belting forward. 5Z starts whistling an alarm because you're not supposed to rev the engines quite that high, and he's not happy with that. But
So yeah, and we're going to catch a system strain for that, and it'll last for 1 round.
okay, I will put.
I went ahead and threw the strain on there.
Okay, I'll let you take care of that then. All right, so you go flying ahead. Okay, that I'm gonna I'm doing good guys, bad guys. What are the other 2 in the turrets doing?
Wow, shooting.
Shooting. Okay, that's going to be a gunnery check. Let's see.
Nah, you go first.
What a gentleman, gentle lady.
Looking at the hull size difference, silhouette on that ship is a 3. Silhouette on your ship is a 4. There is 1 difference on that, so that's going to be 2. Difference in the speed is going to be 1. It's going to be a 3. 3 purple. Yep, 3 difficulty. Okay. I'm sure someone in comment land when I get around to posting these videos will tell me I'm doing it totally wrong, but I don't care.
Alrighty.
Roxy, you can fire too. Shock misses.
Oh, my skills have gone all weird.
Uh-oh.
It's just where it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's. Where is my. Combat skills. Gunnery. There we go. There we go. Oh. Pedals. 3 difficulty.
Yep. There it rolls. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, I need to get the mouse up on my screen so I can check something because I always forget. Okay, yours does 5 damage. Let's put the mic on the other side so the people watching can see. Let me get a TIE fighter up on the screen here. Oh, and you got 1 extra threat on that?
Yeah.
Or an extra success, like you said. Okay, so the threat's a strain for is a system strain for the ship, so that puts the ranker up to 2. I got that, Marty, since I got it on the screen.
All right.
you slam into the TIE fighter, doing 5 hull damage to it based on your weapons damage. And I'm going to have to make that pilot make a piloting check because he's right beside the guy beside him. And he just got shot through the solar panel. Piloting space. And he's going to take a difficulty on that. The success. Let's see if he can hold it together. What do you know? An Imperial that can actually fly. Wow.
The Red Baron.
Yeah. We've had Imperial aces chasing us, it seems like.
Yeah, an Imperial that can actually fly. So you managed to shoot the TIE fighter through and through its solar panel array, but it's still coming. It begins lagging in speed, though. And actually, no, it begins to focus on, I'm going to move it here. 2 of them are on the rank, on the, what is their shit? The blockade bandit. The other 2 jump speed. TIE fighters suck, Marty. I thought I should warn you, their top speed is 5.
Hey, that just means we're equal.
Yeah, they match your speed. And then 2 of them fire on the Rancor. Piloting space. No. Gunnery. There it is. And fortunately for them, you're one size smaller than them, so it's only a 1 for them. You're bigger than they are, therefore you're an easier target.
We have 1 smaller silhouette, if that matters.
Yep.
Because of my tricky target perk.
Oh, okay. The ship gets hit for 4. And I'm going to roll the other one and miss this since I didn't adjust for the other. So you take 4 hull trauma on it. Oh, and 4 advantage. Is that enough? Advantage 4.
Is that with the shield and armor?
Oh,
I
forgot to adjust for that. So your shield is at 2. So there's only 2 hull trauma. My fault. I forgot to pull the soak off. Thank you. Okay. So you guys hear the decided thump of TIE fighter blasters hitting the hull. The Monarch now need to actually adjust for the other ship. The blockade bandit moves up to speed 2. I'm not going to move it on the charts though. And unfortunately, it doesn't have any functioning turrets yet, but it does take evasive maneuvers, making itself harder to hit. And they get the guys doing gunnery on it. That's going to be a 2, but with a setback from the evasive. I'll just do 1 roll on them. Oh my God, really? Blockade bandit. Same deal, 2. What is there? No. Wrong ship. Damage 6. Okay. 3. You see the bandit get struck twice as it's strained to make atmosphere. It's going to take the bandit a bit longer to make atmosphere than you all. It's going to take it 3 turns to clear atmosphere, but it's going to take you guys 2. Actually, this next turn will clear you atmosphere because of how fast you're going, Eatram. And bring around the next turn, and it's the good guy's turn. So, what are you guys on?
I'm shooting some more whenever I get a chance.
Okay.
Is it time?
Yeah, it's time.
The time is nigh. Is it
time
still
is
3?
nigh. Still 3, and that's because of their size and their speed. Ties are nimble and small.
Damn.
Shock, you missed again.
Having a rough time here.
Yeah, Shock. It's all the jigging and jagging that. No, it's a sure speed because you're not juking at all, are you, Eatram?
No, I'm trying to get as much distance as I can.
You're just trying to get out of atmosphere. What about Roxy? Are you firing back?
Yeah. Let's see what I do. I've shot at something like this before.
Yeah, okay, so let me look here. How can we spend that triumph? Upgrade the difficulty. You can either upgrade the difficulty of the pilot's next gunnery check in the ties, or you can upgrade the activity or of an allied character, such as a pilot or gunner on your own ship, or you can do something vital to turn the tide of the battle. So what do you want to do? I got an idea.
Let's go with your idea.
Okay. So, Eacham, you're going balls to the wall. The ship is rocking the atmosphere. You guys are quickly watching the toxic atmosphere fade to black as the Rancor soars into space as fast as Eacham can push those engines. And Shock, zap, 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 misses. But your miss herds the other one too close to the other pilot. And when Roxy fires, whap, through the solar panels, right into the cockpit, the tie spins to the left and slams into the other tie, taking both ties out.
Nice.
That's one way to do it.
So that gets rid of that tie, and you guys are in the clear. Eacham, what are you doing? Your crews went, you haven't. You are clear enough, you can make the jump.
I'm going to look at the other group. Does it look like they're going to be able to make it out without our assistance?
Now that there's only 2 ties and one of those ties is damaged, yes. Because the one tie is damaging, it's lagging. It's falling behind. It can't keep up.
All right. Well, that's good enough for me. I guess I'll do a damage control roll just to see if I can drop some system strain, and I have to do something.
Okay.
So that's just we're below half threshold, so I guess it's just a 1 purple mechanics check.
Yep.
Which is honestly good because I only have 1 green for mechanics. Oh no, I have 3. It's intelligence. Still, not the smartest cookie.
You can fly them. You can't fix them that well.
So, yeah, that's what the crew's for.
Yep, not a problem. So you got 2 successes. That reduces your strain to 0 on the ship. Got that in there for you.
Awesome.
Doesn't take care of the whole trauma, obviously, but does take care of the system strain. And the Rancor continues to soar into the blackest space. Meanwhile, back in the TIE fighters, the Imperial pilots both begin to strafe after that ship. Gunnery. Get both of their rolls in. Both hitting. What's their guns do? And that doesn't. I keep looking on the character sheet. They're not there. 6 on that.
God, looking at this, maybe he won't make it out.
Let's see. That's 12 total for soak. That leaves 8. You see some hull plates fly off of the blockade bandit, but overall it is not. Does not appear to be in any kind of dire straits as of yet. They are pushing it. You do see one of the extra engines begin to smoke.
It's a good thing it's a capital ship.
Yeah. And that brings it around to the next to the Monarch's turn. It's now at full speed, and they continue to push for atmosphere. It'll be the next turn before they can make their jump to hyperspeed. That brings it right back around to you guys as the crew of the Rabid Rancor. What are you doing?
Can I take a few pot shots?
Sure.
There is that one.
Yeah, it's going to be the same size targeting. The 3 you've been dealing with, but I'm going to give you 1 setback because you're trying not to hit their ship.
Yeah. I imagine that's because they're slower, but they're further away.
Right, exactly. They're slower. They're moving slower
that's
than you, and they're further away.
That's why it's not more difficulty.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay.
Okay, you missed, but your setback also didn't cause anything, so no big deal. The setback was put in there because of the trying not to hit the other ship. So in trying not to hit the other ship, you missed your targets, but they now are the TIE fighters now aware that you guys are shooting at them and not the others. Shock, are you going to fire?
Yeah, it's still 3 difficulty, right?
3 difficulty with 1 setback.
Yep, I'll go for it too.
Yep, same thing. You manage not hit their ship, but you are causing the TIEs to have to take note that they're being shot at from multiple directions. Yitrim.
We're all primed for hyperspace, correct?
Yep. All you gotta do is punch the levers and this ship jumps to hyperdrive.
All right. Well, then I'm going to ready that as an action.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that they get out of here.
Okay, so you're gonna wait for them to make the jump and then you're gonna jump with them. Okay.
As soon as I hit them jump, I'm hitting the throttle.
Okay. Let me take care of the TIEs. Let me get the pilots and see what they're doing here. Obviously, they're shooting, but they're gonna get set back because they're shooting and dodging your all's incoming shots. Okay, so it's 6 more on the blockade bandit. Of course, they only take 4 of that. Still not in any danger. Okay. The blockade bandit continues pushing ahead. You see a flicker of pseudo motion, and the ship vanishes into hyperspace.
Then so do we.
And right behind that, the Rabid Rancor into hyperspace. You see the typical blue swirl. And then you guys are on the side looking out into the hyperspace tunnel as the ship jumps into hyperspace. It's about this time, Yitrim, that you look down and look at the coordinates that's been programmed into the hyperdrive. The droid programmed them backwards.
I think Eitrim's going to lock the door to the cockpit.
Time to jettison that droid. Can we break him down for spare parts for other droids?
Well, he programmed this machine right. He just reversed the numbers. So the jump that should have taken you about a day and a half to the meetup spot is going to take 2 weeks, and it's going to put you on the other side of the galaxy.
Is there no way to stop a hyperdrive jump once we're going?
Yes, there is. But if you continue on course, it'll take you about 2 weeks and be on the other side of the galaxy. If you would like to make an astrogation check, I will give you the marks on that, and you can, untrigger this problem and drop
Eitrim
out.
doesn't even have to breathe, and he's sighing right now.
How difficult is it to hack the door back open? Because I just assume it's busted.
You hear Roxy beating on the door, thinking that something's wrong with it.
Piece of junk.
Oh no, Yitrim, it wasn't 2 purple. It's 4.
Oh, 4. Apologies,
Yes,
I
4.
meant that.
Because you're stopping a hyperjump mid-jump. So you give me the roll there.
Yeah. Oh, this droid really better hope I'm lucky.
Oh! Okay.
I shoot the droid.
You shoot the droid.
I shoot it.
Okay, so let me explain what happens. Actually, go ahead and give me the the blaster pistol check, please. It'd be just 1 purple, because... Perfect. Okay.
Why is that the best roll I've ever made in my life?
Wow.
So
We'll use the stun setting.
okay. So I want to describe this from Roxy's point of view, because she's the first one to get to the cockpit door. I'm assuming Shock is coming that way, but I don't know. So Roxy,
Well, it's locked.
you beat on the door because it's locked, and you look at the panel is red, and you start shouting at, Yitrim, open the door, and And just as you decide that something must have went wrong, you're reaching your pouch to flip a tool, two things happen. One, you feel the ship lurch as it forcefully drops from hyperspace. And then you feel the ship begin to tumble as the gravity drives cut out. And then you hear the unmistakable sound of a blaster pistol going off in the cockpit. Shock, you hear the blaster pistol from the other side of the ship and feel the ship lurch and drop out, and you feel the gravity systems fail on the ship. The ship is tumbling.
What caused the gravity to fail? Sorry, I missed that part. I thought we were navigating to the wrong place.
That come from the fact that he failed the astrogation check, and when it forcefully dropped the ship out, it shorted the gravity drives out.
Oh, so we're out of hyperspace now.
Yeah. You've reverted to real space.
Alright. So
Are we
can I
floating?
Yeah, you're floating, and the
can
ship
I
is
make my
tumbling.
way can I make my way to the gravity?
Yeah. So you
drive?
want to make your way to the engineering bay, right?
Yes. So I'm
Okay.
trying to
Give
fix it
me.
got
Yeah.
broken.
Okay. Let me get you up here, Shock, for a second. Let's see. Give me a coordination check.
Mm-hmm.
3 purple. You're in a tumbling ship. So
Not
you,
coordinated to that.
yeah. So you come out of you're coming out of the about halfway across the bay when this happens, and you realize as soon as you realize the cabin, you reach for something to get a hold of so you can launch yourself, and you just miss it. You are floating in the middle of the bay. Nothing to get a hold of. Yitram, you know the ship is. I mean, you feel the anti-gravity go off on the ship, or the gravity go off on the ship, but you're strapped in. The droid goes dark. What do you do? And then I'll come to Roxy.
Honestly, I think Eitram's going to sit here and fume, and then he's going to try and turn things back on from where he's at.
Okay, Roxy. Suddenly, the gravity drops out in the ship, and you're floating, and you barely save from smashing your face into the cockpit door. What are you doing?
I try and get out my my slicing tools and try and slice open this door.
Okay, give me a coordination check to see if you can get hold of something to steady yourself because you have no gravity.
Yeah, gonna try and root myself into the.
It'd be 3 purple because the ship's tumbling, so things are moving weirdly to you from your perspective.
Yeah, hopefully I can whack my feet in the stairs. Oh,
You manage to miss the railing, and you are now floating toward the back of the bay. Yitram, you're the one fuming in the cockpit. What are you doing? Because these two now have nothing to get a hold of. They're just kind of floating, waiting for themselves to eventually one of you will collab with something to which you can get hold of. How long are you going to fume, Yitram?
It's a great question.
You have no idea.
Least, I'll stop the ship from spinning.
Okay, so give me a simple pallet check, just of 1. Because there's nothing wrong with the ship's drives, it's just the gravity drive has failed. So you quickly stop the tumble of the ship and correct it back to standard galactic up and down as accepted by all pilots in the space. 2 things happen. You hear 2 unmistakable thumps and groans from across the ship. This is a result of the ship spinning and settling, and you've either hit a wall or a ceiling. So could you 2 both make coordination checks at 2 difficulty?
Can I just ask, can I make that easier? Because I have an ascension gun. and I
Sure
was hoping
can.
to
If you
use it
if you
to-
want to use that, you can do that. You can certainly do that.
Yeah. So what
Shock,
would
you
that
managed to
be?
miss grabbing a hold of the panel of anything you can hold on to as you slam in. You're close to the ground. You just don't have a hold anything. You're just kind of like floating.
And
Oh,
everybody
yeah,
else
by
can
the way, I
hear.
put in a... Oh,
Oh, I
sorry,
was just gonna
Shock.
say, as that happens, Shock lets out a roar, and the translation droid says, "Untranslatable."
Yeah, I
just
put
one
custom
purple.
grips
Yeah.
and an ascension gun on my
Okay.
thing. So I'm just gonna try and shoot the door and
Okay.
reel myself back towards it.
Okay. So you from your side, you hear a thump and a whirring sound coming from the cockpit door that you've locked. From your side, you're reeling yourself in, Roxy.
Well, Eatrim knows that Shock is on the far side, so he's guessing that this is Roxy. He's just gonna shout through the door, "Roxy, remove your droid. I don't want to see it again."
Unlock the door, Utrim.
I can thumb
Unlock
the
the
door
door.
open.
Yeah. So Yitrim thumbs the door open, and the door swishes aside. In time, as you've already got close enough to you can get a hold of the panel. You come floating in. You see your droid, for lack of a better word, just kind of floating there, dark. The unmistakable electrical signals of an impulse shot having hit it. There's not a hole in it. It's
Alright,
just shut down.
Alright, Utrim. I'll scrap him down. I'll maybe turn him into a gunnery droid or something.
It's get him out.
I just kick him out through the door unceremoniously.
Just moving him out the door. Okay. Shock, you finally managed to work your way into the engineering bay, very carefully moving your way around. You find the systems that need repaired to repair the gravity drives on the ship, the gravity plating. Make a 2 purple mechanics check to get the systems back online.
All right, mechanics 2 purple. Damn, I am not rolling for anything tonight.
Okay, so you're busily working on the drive as Yitrim is Yitrim, I assume you're trying to figure out where exactly you're at.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you're not too far off from where you have been before. You're out near the Hadrian Way. Uh, Apparently, the drive modifications were very well done because it's a lot further than you expected to have gotten the time it took you to offset things. So you can begin if you want to replot your course to the rendezvous point if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll get started on that.
Okay, that's going to be a simple 2 purple difficulty astrogation check to replot your course. Takes Shock a little bit longer than it should, and then suddenly you guys feel the tug of gravity restore as the ship's gravity plating comes back online. You make the astrogation check, and reprogram the computers to make the jump. It's going to take at least 3 days from where you're at to get to the proper location.
Well, I think I might end up selling that droid.
I don't understand how it causes so many problems.
Cursed? I reckon it's cursed. But No one else needs to know that.
We
Just
can
give it
get
a
you
new coat
another
of paint.
droid, just not that one.
Just give it a
Yeah.
new coat of paint and push it out there. Somebody will buy it.
I wonder if I put the other droid brain in it, whether it'll be smarter. Like, 2 brains gotta be better than 1. Sure, there's some species with 2 brains.
So are you making the jump?
Yeah, we'll make the jump.
Okay. 3 days later, after much debate on whether or not to add another brain to 5Z between the crew, you arrive at the rendezvous point to find no one there. They've long since moved on. However, you do, once you drop into real space, receive a message from Riom telling you that they did get away and that he'll be in touch when he has more work for you. And that ends the encounter. Let me refresh the page here so I can get into the site properly so I can award your XP.